Why you're not just a teacher, you're worth way more. You know what's funny? Every time someone says, "But teachers don't do it for the money," my eyelid twitches like it's trying to Morse code for help. Because sure, we don't do it for the money. But we also don't do it for the meetings, or the marking, or that one parent who thinks you're running a free babysitting service with Wi-Fi. We do it because, somewhere between the chaos and the caffeine, we know what it means to make a difference. But sometimes, we forget just how much we're worth. There was a teacher named Mrs. Thompson. First day of grade 5, she looked at her students and told them she loved them all the same. But she didn't. There, in the front row, slumped in his chair, was Teddy Stoddard, a quiet boy who didn't play well, whose clothes were messy, whose grades were bad. She found out later that Teddy's mother had died, and his father didn't really care. By the end of the year, Mrs. Thompson realized she had been grading pain, not performance. She stopped teaching subjects and started teaching children. Years later, she got a letter. "Dear Mrs. Thompson, I graduated high school today, second in my class. You made me believe I could be someone." She got another one after that. "Dear Mrs. Thompson, I'm graduating from medical school. You were the best teacher I ever had." And one more. "Dear Mrs. Thompson, I'm getting married soon. My dad died last year. Would you sit where my mom would have sat?" That's when she realized, she wasn't just a teacher. She was a turning point in someone's life. And maybe you've never been asked to sit at a wedding. But your students carry your voice in their heads, and you have no idea how loud it echoes. Somewhere out there is a grown adult who still remembers the day you noticed they were quiet, or the time you said, "You're actually good at this," or the day you didn't give up when everyone else did. That's your legacy. And yes, I know, legacy doesn't pay rent. But here's the thing, it changes lives. And changing lives is the most underpaid, overworked, ridiculously exhausting, and yet most holy job on earth. But let's be honest. It's hard to feel holy when you're Googling quick dinner ideas for when you've lost the will to cook or live. Or when you've said, "I'll just mark 3 essays," and it's suddenly midnight and you've graded 1 paragraph. It's okay to laugh, because we all did. But behind that laughter, there's fatigue, deep, soul-level fatigue that doesn't go away with weekends or coffee. And yet, you keep showing up. Even when you feel invisible. Even when your worth is measured in test scores, attendance sheets, and whether a teenager remembered their pen. Let me remind you, that is not your worth. Let's talk about Mr. J, a teacher from Kenya. He didn't have much, his classroom had no computers, no smartboard, sometimes not even enough desks. But he taught his students to believe they were capable of greatness. In 2019, he was named the best teacher in the world. When asked what made him special, he said, "Every child deserves a champion, an adult who will never give up on them. That's it. That's the secret. You don't need fancy tech or perfect lessons. You need to keep believing in people, especially the ones who've stopped believing in themselves." And then there's Erin Gruel, the real-life teacher behind the movie Freedom Writers. She taught in a school filled with gang violence, trauma, and hopelessness. But she gave her students journals and told them to write their truth. Those journals became a book that inspired millions. She didn't just teach English. She taught human survival through storytelling. You don't have to be Erin Gruel. You just have to be you. Because you have stories that matter, jokes that heal, eyes that notice, and words that land exactly when a kid needs them. Let's face it, nobody claps for teachers enough. Nobody throws parades for the people keeping the world literate, emotionally stable, and half-sane. And the media doesn't exactly show us standing on podiums getting medals for surviving Mondays. But maybe that's the point. Because the best teachers don't do it for applause, they do it for the quiet victories no one sees. That kid who finally said, "Thank you." That parent who stopped blaming and started listening. That colleague who laughed at your sarcasm and suddenly felt less alone. That's what you do. You create small miracles, every day, under fluorescent lighting and low budgets. So here's what I want you to remember the next time you feel just like a teacher. You are an architect of confidence, a healer of doubt, a farmer of futures. Your worth is not in the paycheck, or the praise, or the policies that never make sense. Your worth is in the eyes of the kids who see you as the one adult who didn't give up on them. If nobody's told you lately, you are doing enough. You are enough. And the world would be far more broken without you in it. So hold your head high, teacher. You are not just a teacher, you are worth way more. And before you go, I'd love to hear your story. Tell us in the comments about a teacher who changed your life, or a moment when you realized you were making a difference. Your story might be exactly what another teacher needs to hear today. And if this message lifted your spirit even a little, subscribe and stay with Attitude Farm. Because this is where teachers grow, together. So, please, don't be selfish. Share this video with other teachers.